It's really important. I've learned this from you. It's really important how we enter a market. Whether that's a market here in the Carolinas, when we're thinking about going into a market like Columbia or Raleigh, even here in Charlotte, like our positioning in the market is really important. And that's important here on our home turf. But when we go to a place that's 1,200 miles away, 2,500 miles away, yeah, it's really, really important of the intentionality and purpose behind how we enter. So I'm so excited about the way we're entering this Portland, Maine market, because it's a beautiful location. We've got landlords, like you mentioned, with Bonnie and Marty and the Galloway group that are just great to work with. But then what? I mean, now the question, Charlie, becomes, where do we go from here? What are some of the questions that we would have to ask ourselves about next steps?
Before we get into next steps, let's talk about the comparisons and what we learned from Spokane to Maine, because this is kind of different, right? For many, many years and decades, we said we want to grow from a strong concentric circle and within a drive away from home base, being Charlotte or Fort Mill, South Carolina, whichever, essentially the same thing. And so we kind of went disjointed from that to the Northwest because we saw an opportunity, and also because we had this goal, this revenue target that we were trying to get to by 2030, and we knew that we had to broaden our aperture and be a little bit more creative to the opportunities about how we look at growth. We look at same store opportunities in all those levels. We look at filling in markets, the hub and spoke market, going after a market penetration number and a market share number, and then we look at like new concepts within our existing markets, like the Ashley Outlet concept, and then we look at new markets, whether they're greenfield like Spokane or acquisition, like most recently when we did Project Seahawk in the 2 stores in Wilmington. And so when we looked at the Spokane opportunity, we looked at the whole DMA and we said, we think this is probably about a 3-store opportunity when you look at the kind of the shopping patterns, maybe more, maybe the hub and spoke, but we got to go get the hub first and then kind of understand the market. And then we want to kind of build density from there. And very similarly, when we look at Maine and how you kind of can distribute there, it could be a 2 or 3 store market. If you go up to Bangor and down to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, for instance, but also it could be more than that. It could be 2 flagship stores and 2 or 3 more smaller stores to service the market. When you look at Bangor, Ellsworth, going to Bar Harbor, Bahaba, when you look at Augusta or Lewiston or Brunswick, you've got a lot of, I mentioned earlier, Portsmouth. So we'll go in there and understand the market, kind of understand the pull from the greater Portland area, and then kind of where we position our distribution center, and then how we go from there. The differences to Spokane, we alluded to, like it's a little bit closer, it's on the same time zone. It's not 3 levels, it's 1 level, but it will be Ashley 7.0.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.